Really? Tell me.
It's not easy to do the right thing because I think people within your community or maybe even your family members, they have expectations of you being who they are, at some point in time, like going along with what they go along with. So I think it can be very difficult when you come into a disagreement and you let your family members, for example, know that, hey, you know what, that's not what I'm into. This is not what I want to do. I want to do this other thing, and
right.
you decide to go for the right choices, and they might look at you funny, like, what, you don't want to go, you don't want to do what I'm doing, and that can be difficult. I think a lot of times, especially for teens, they feel like they're going to disappoint parents. And I say this because working with kids, I've had, kids in middle school who tell me, Miss, I'm just waiting to turn 17 because, I'm going to become a roofer like my dad. And that's what they have in mind and plan, even though they've shared with me that, hey, I like school and I would like to go to college, but these are the choices I have to make because I don't want to disappoint my father.
Right.
So that happens a lot. A lot of times, kids are too focused on not disappointing their parents and going along with what they choose for them, that they stop becoming individuals and they become who their family wants them to become.
Yes, and believe it or not, when they get older and unfortunately, life happens, sometimes it's addiction, sometimes mental health issues. Sometimes it's very difficult to get out of that. You start getting that negative talk, that critical mindset that these people around you that can be critical.
Yeah.
You have to be real careful not being critical parents. You have to be real careful adults. If you are critical, just to slow it down a little bit. Some people think critical is assertive, and it's not. Hey, do it this way. Move faster.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be forgiving, and I don't think we're forgiving enough in this environment. I think that people have. People move too fast. I think we move too fast, people. Let's slow it down. Have fun a little bit. I notice that you don't take yourself too serious at times, Miss Maria.
I would? What did you say?
I said I noticed you don't take yourself too serious at times.
At times I don't. I'm a very serious person. If you ask my family, they'll be like, oh, she's very
okay. I misspoke. Okay, I don't take myself very serious. I learned a long time ago, and I mentioned it many times, and I'll mention it again. I learned to have fun. I learned not to take myself over serious, because I grew up in an environment that could be very critical.
Well, and there's always like a time and a place,
Timing, good.
Timing, yeah.
Timing is good.
That's important.
You gotta know how to reel it in, and we give you a hard time sometimes. I give you a hard time.
Yeah, he does.
Or Ms. Maria, she tries to, she'll tell me, this needs to be signed, that needs to be signed. I go, where, right here? Where, right here?
He never knows. I almost have to move the pen for him.
Just stand there patiently, and I said, right here? Okay, where do you want me to sign? Right here? Yeah. Anyhow, so we're talking about being an individual. So that's one of the reasons we wanted to do the podcast, was because we wanted that individuality. We wanted people to feel themselves and then have us there to keep you company. We hope that we've been doing that, and we're going to continue to do that because it is a very lonely world, Miss Maria.
It is. It really is a lonely world, and I think it's unfortunate. We get this information from our middle school kids. They share this with us. They feel alone. Sometimes they don't have people to talk to. It's hard for them to open up to their parents or sometimes even to their siblings.
Right.
So I think this is what the podcast is doing for them. We are allowing one of the things that we do during group is we let them speak. We let them share their thoughts, their feelings,
right.
Their opinions. And I think we give them that. And through doing this podcast, it gives them an opportunity to listen to positive talk.
Yes. I think now's the time. I think our timing was right, because when we started talking about the podcast, there's a lot of naysayers, and I understand that. I understand how people can say, well, why would anybody want to listen to you? Well, guess what?
People are listening
all the time. And that's part of our job. Our job is to go out and talk to people and let them know that, hey, things are going to be better. Kind of a motivator. So we figured, hey, we do a podcast and we're able to motivate people. And part of the motivation is you're really just being there with you when you need it the most. I listen to it, sometimes I'm on my way to work, sometimes when I'm at doing something at home, and I hear the motivation in it, and of course I could be biased. But I think that we need that kind of thing. We need some more positive in our lives. I think the kids that, if you're listening out there, by the way, and you know what we're talking about, let us know. Let us know if it's keeping you company. Let us know what you want to hear. Let us know what else could we add to it. There's a lot of topics we can go to, and I just decided that today we would just kind of talk a little bit about what this little podcast that could is about. So it's about us trying to just be there for you, be there next to you. It's like this, look, Miss Maria. So let's say you're lonely. Just pretend you're a lonely person. You're a lonely kid. You're out there and you're like, go ahead, be lonely. Be lonely. Okay, I'll be the lonely kid.
I'm being lonely. This is
but they gotta hear you. They can't hear lonely on the. Okay, you're the real podcast of Dallas, and I'm Leo, the lonely adolescent. Gee, I'm lonely. There's nothing for me to do. What can I do not to be so lonely?
Listen to the real podcast of Dallas.
Wait a second. I just heard a voice. It told me to listen to the real podcast of Dallas. Where could I find it?
Google the real podcast of Dallas.
Oh.
Or search for us under Spotify. Just type in The Real, Leo Gutierrez, and you will find the real podcast of Dallas.
Okay, let me check it out. Oh, I see it there. Oh, goodness. There's something. I can't believe it. There's. Let me try listening to this. Oh, I hear some really nice things on there. Oh, I think I will click on and see what I hear. Because I'm a very lonely teen. Oh, I see they did one last week. Let's go to that and see what happens. Oh, this looks like a little nice show. Let me hear it.
It sounds good.
Very nice. Oh.
I think especially because, we work with kids and we're always trying to help them,
Yes.
Motivate them and to
I
believe
hear
in
that.
themselves and, to have self-confidence.
That lady sounds very nice.
A little bit about what that song encourages. We're always so worried about, what people think of us.
I don't feel lonely anymore.
Look at us and,
Yep. Oh. The music behind the podcast. Oh, that guy sounds really nice. So soothing. And it's doing. Oh, I see.
Miss Maria is super shy, y'all.
Oh, her name is Miss Maria.
Even if my family disagrees with me
Yes.
and make fun of me for
You're on a
even
podcast and you're what?
they make fun of me for saying that statement,
It's
I'm
great.
So
It's really
shy.
keeping me company.
I really am.
What else are they up to? Their antics. Oh, the music is great on this. I got to tell my friends. How about this one? Yes, please, more.
You haven't played this one in a while.
It's been a little while, but you remember that? Sounds like they're having a great time. I wonder if
Do you
there's
remember
any...
what episode you played it?
Look, there's a lot of episodes here. I think I will try to listen to more episodes. This is great. Let me call my friend. I'll call my friend.
Jasmine.
Jasmine. Jasmine, guess what? I found this podcast. Great podcast. You've got to hear it. They're hilarious. I mean, I was feeling lonely, and all of a sudden, I heard something.
Is it the real podcast of Dallas?
You don't tell me you know.
Yes.
Well, how come you haven't told me?
Because I thought you knew.
You know nobody tells me anything.
We talked about it at lunch the other day.
Oh, I think I fell asleep.
Oh no, you weren't paying attention.
Well, which one do you like? Look, they even have what? ASMR?
I like the ASMR. The ASMR is so
let's
cool.
listen to that. That sounds like it'd be a lot of fun. Let's hear it.
And it all has to do with how you approach
Sounds
it. and
like
how
you,
talk to your
Jasmine.
kids.
Well, we know though.
Oh,
like,
who's that? Have a chip.
That's Miss Cindy.
Yelling.
We miss you, Miss Cindy.
Yelling does not work.
No.
When a teacher yells at, their class, that means they've already lost.
Very
control.
You guys focus more on the quiet calmness of the way she reacts. He sounds very nice.
Because that works for me. Like, that resonates with me. It helps me.
Well, it used to be where so that's where. By the way, if you're confused, we're doing a little dialogue. I'm the bored adolescent, and then Miss Jasmine over there is my friend, and we're listening to the Real Podcast of Dallas to keep us company. Just showing you how this podcast worked, by the way, in case you were wondering.
Him, he was so happy.
Yeah, he must out with cookie.
He eats a cookie like I do.
Hey, that's how I eat my cookies.
I'm like, go on. Cookie. It's hilarious.
I'm all about the peanut butter cookie.
I like their antics. What do you think,
Oh,
Jasmine?
I love the oatmeal.
Lemon cookie.
They're so funny. I like them.
You like
with
them?
chocolate chip.
You gotta call our other friends.
Oatmeal is
Oh, you know which ones are so good to me too? Well, I already sent them a text message.
Oh, okay, good. I'm gonna have
They
to-
know we're
I like
married.
them.
Ah, yes.
I'm gonna
See,
call my
if you
grandfather.
don't like that when you're young,
Grandpa, come
you will
listen
grow
to the Real
into it.
Podcast of
Yes.
Dallas.
Oh, those are my
They're
favorite.
hilarious.
Grover.
Oh, takes me back to. Oh, I wasn't born yet. Never mind. Oh. You do that one, Maria, and I'll do Grover.
Grover helped me learn my prepositions.
Very good, Cindy.
See, Sam Bee Gees.
What do you think, Jasmine? Does this keep you company? Wow, it's keeping me company.
Yes, it is.
It's very soothing. You know, I was having problems until I started listening to this, and I forgot about it.
That's good. The Real Podcast of Dallas.
Yeah, do it in that voice.
No, I cannot do that in that voice.
You can't do Grover.
No, it doesn't come.
Okay, so we're back. So those of you who are wondering, we're just giving you an idea of what it works, what it's supposed to work like. In case you didn't know, I'm sure you probably bought into it and you're like, how does this work? It's not working.
And I like how you shared, like you can call grandma or grandpa. I think this is perfect for the whole entire family. We work directly with kids, and we're supposed to have contact with, adults, with parents. But because of COVID, we are unable to, or we have been unable to, really reach out to parents like we used to. We used to be able to participate in presentations at schools. And so, they put a hold on all of that. And, this is a way to reach out to all family members, to tios, to tias, grandparents, and everybody can enjoy listening to one of the podcasts all at the same time.
Yes. And
Bring
like I
family
said,
together again.
Yes. And then you can relax. Sit back and listen to the Real Podcast of Dallas. A little podcast that
Could and did and will.
yes. So we're kind of messing around, but that's kind of the reality of it. This is a podcast to help you with your mental health. Also, if you have any questions on Facebook, you can always message us and tell us, hey, I'm having this issue. What do you think? Or even issues with your kids. I've been working with kids for over 30 years. Did it help you out, Miss Maria, working with teens when you started raising your kids?
It actually did. My daughter, I went back to school, and my daughter was in elementary. I want to say she was 3rd grade, 4th grade, and everything that I started to learn again about child development and growing helped me so much with my own kids. And right now I can tell you, I learned so much from these kids. These kids educate me. they let me know about everything that's going on around them that that if I wasn't working with them, I probably wouldn't even know. I probably wouldn't even think about it.
And it can be very shocking.
They can be. I have a really close relationship at home with my kids, but even still, they all have their own personal thoughts and opinions on things, and sometimes I don't think they too openly share them with me. Sometimes I have to sit down with them and talk to them and, get them into opening up about whatever it is that they think or they feel. And I have to always let them know it's okay. It's okay for us to disagree. We're not always going to agree on everything.
Right.